There was a time when you heard the name Tana Mongeau, you already knew what was coming. Chaos, scandals, drama, a new headline almost every week. For years, the internet watched Tana spiral, self destruct, fight, party, and make mistake after mistake in front of millions of people. And for a long time, that chaos was her brand. But here's the thing, I've been watching Tana since she had around 100,000 subscribers. Long before the podcast, long before the mainstream attention, long before the image she has now. And if there's one thing I've seen firsthand, it's change, it's growth. So today, I want to ask a question. Do you think Tana Mojo deserves redemption? Because I do. But maybe more importantly, do we actually allow people to grow once we've decided who they are? Turn the lights down, get comfortable, and follow me down the rabbit hole of Redemption Wednesday.
This is Rabbit Hole Radio.
Tana built her career differently than most creators. She wasn't polished, she wasn't filtered, she was raw and real. She was messy, loud, and brutally honest. That honesty made people love her, but it also made her dangerous to herself. Her rise to fame happened fast, and suddenly, a teenager was being handed millions of followers, endless money, nonstop attention, and an audience that rewarded chaos. And that chaos followed, with public feuds, messy relationships, substance abuse, controversial jokes, problematic behavior, and of course the iDub scandal and TanaCon. Those moments changed everything for her career. But more specifically, the TanaCon scandal, that became one of the biggest public failures in influencer history. And from that point on, Tana wasn't just seen as chaotic, she became the face of internet recklessness. But here's the part that most people forget about. Tana was young, really young. And youth doesn't erase harm, but context matters. Most people get to make their worst mistakes privately, at parties, in their own bad relationships, during addiction, during their own breakdowns. Nobody records it or uploads it for millions to see. Nobody is monetizing it. And Tana didn't get that luxury. Her worst years became content. And when your pain becomes profitable, it gets very complicated because the audience doesn't always want healing. You have people waiting for the next train wreck, and for a while, that's exactly what she was giving them. But this is important. Redemption doesn't mean pretending the past never happened. Tana has hurt people. She has made offensive choices. She said things that did deserve criticism. She has crossed lines, and there are people who still feel impacted by that. And that does matter. Growth means nothing without accountability. And I think that's where a lot of redemption stories fall apart. People want forgiveness without reflection, but Tana's story feels different because she doesn't really hide from her past. She talks about it, she owns it, she laughs at her past self, sometimes cringes at it, but that self awareness matters. But then something changed. Not overnight, not dramatically, but gradually. And you can see it. There's less destruction, more reflection, more self awareness, more control over her life. And she's sober. And that is huge because sobriety changes everything. It forces you to meet yourself without the noise, without numbing yourself, without escaping yourself. And from the outside looking in, it feels like Tana finally started becoming the person she was always going to be. She has once never claimed to be perfect, but I can say she is real, more grounded, more intentional, and she's definitely grown a lot. And honestly, that is something that should be celebrated because it's so rare, especially for somebody whose identity was built on chaos. But the internet has a weird relationship with redemption. People love to watch other people fall, but when they start climbing back up, people get uncomfortable because if somebody changes, it forces people to question whether they've been frozen in time. And I think that's what happened to Tana. A lot of people still see the 19-year-old party girl, the impulsive mess, the controversy machine, but here's a reality check. She isn't 19 anymore.
I
She
woke
has lived
up
through
today and when
addiction,
I blew
public
my nose, every
humiliation,
single color of
toxic
the rainbow.
Okay, I'm
relationships,
about to go see.
loss, and whether you like her or not, going through stuff like that changes a person and forces them to grow, especially when they choose sobriety and facing their traumas head on. Perfection isn't what redemption is about. Redemption is growth. It's owning up to what you did and changing what you can and becoming someone better than who you were. From someone who has watched her for years, I really think she's doing that. But here's the question I have for you. Do you really think people can change? Or do we say we do until it's inconvenient? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Tana deserves redemption? If you're into this type of content, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up so I know you're watching, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.